what's up?
No, what's going on, sir?
Oh, just slaving away.
So it's been 2 months since I contacted you last. Has anything been done about them not registering me? Or is this going to be an ongoing thing until 2060?
I mean, no one's contacted me
Well,
about it.
yeah, because they know there's video evidence of them denying me the access to register. If they're denying me access to register, what's the point of me registering? If you guys are making up an address that I'm living at the halfway house in 2020, what's the point of me registering?
I mean, it's just the law. I mean,
The law says that juveniles under the age of 14 shouldn't be used on the sex offender registry. That's the Iowa Supreme Court. See, the law only applies to citizens that aren't given qualified immunity.
Okay.
Because you guys are clearly racketeering, right? Because I was in custody of the Marshtown halfway house when I caught a failure to register at the halfway house.
Mm-hmm.
Because a probation officer wasn't maintaining my records. I wasn't charged with escaping or fleeing the halfway house, just that I wasn't maintaining my records. Almost 10 years later, COVID hits. You guys are saying I'm in custody of the halfway house when I wasn't in custody of the halfway house. My sex offender registry shows in 2020, in April, there was no way I was in the Marshtown halfway house. You charged me, not you personally, but Marshall County charged me with a felony. Took you guys 3 years, denied me access to every court date, gave me public defenders that refused to submit evidence. And now I've had videos for the last 3 years of you guys not maintaining my records. So it's a felony for me to not maintain my records, but it's not illegal for the police to modify or make false police reports?
Oh, I totally get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying, but I've been on your caseload for almost 4 months, 6 months, and you haven't done a fucking thing. Because you know I wasn't in the Marshtown halfway house. You know I wasn't. So at this point, you're just helping your gang member friends. You're not helping my case. You're not doing anything. You're just.
But here's the thing.
Here's the thing. I was not in custody of the Marshtown halfway house. You know it. Tabitha at the probation office in Marshtown knows it. So why am I still on probation for not living at the halfway house when I was never living at the halfway house?
Well,
you've had 4 months. Well, what?
Well, what do you want me to do? I can't go back to the courts and say, you're wrong.
The fuck you can't, sir.
Okay, don't use that language with me, Ryan. I mean, I'm trying to talk to you.
You guys are terrorizing me because I wasn't in the Marshtown halfway house. How are you helping me? You've had my case 4 months, and you have not done a thing.
Here's the thing. So you pled guilty to it.
I pled guilty to a crime with a public defender I fired? That's weird. Kiko charged me with harassment, man, for an email. That email said I fired my public defender. And imagine that. I signed a plea agreement 12 days later with that same public defender.
I have no idea.
It's on video, man. What do you mean you have no idea? I gave you my link to my YouTube channel. You had every opportunity the last 4 months to do any sort of investigation on why this is going on. And you haven't.
And I get that. I looked at your last video you sent me when you went to register.
And clearly they're denying me service, right?
Well,
there's no well. They're denying me service. 3 police officers said they weren't going to register me. 3 police officers refused to give me a FOIA form. 3 police officers denied me a complaint form. Does that sound like a fucking America to you, or does it sound like Nazi Germany?
Okay, so I'm wondering what's going on.
I'm wondering why you haven't done anything to protect my civil rights. You've allowed them to violate my 4th Amendment. You're still violating my 4th Amendment. I'm supposed to go appear in person, but how am I supposed to appear in person when you guys aren't even fucking registering me? You guys are clearly not.
The registry has nothing to do with my agency or me.
You might not have nothing to do with your agency, but you're all still Department of Justice. and you're too stupid to call the other members of the Department of Justice to figure out what's going on.
Okay. So you pled guilty to this, okay?
I signed a plea agreement with a public defender I fired 12 days prior.
Okay. Then you went to court.
I didn't go to court. I never once appeared to any plea agreement. I never went to sentencing. I never did any of that because you guys used COVID as an excuse. Is it catching up to you yet?
Well, I wasn't even a PO when COVID hit, so.
And I'm sorry, sir. Like, I understand this is not your fault, but you are holding me hostage to something I never did. That's the bottom line.
But
the problem is you are still holding me hostage for not living at the halfway house when I wasn't living at the halfway house. That's the problem. And for the last 3 years, I've screamed, I yelled, I've done everything I can besides be violent with you people to get you to listen. And you're telling me after 4 months of sitting on this, you couldn't even respect me enough to give me a 5-minute conversation to the Marshtown halfway house? Because that's what all this boils down to. You can call the Marshtown halfway house right now and ask them whether or not I was in custody in 2020. But you don't want to do that because then you'll know that criminal negligence is going on, that you maliciously prosecuted me and denied me access to the court. That's why no one wants to do this. See, now you're linking Mason City into this lawsuit because you don't want to investigate.
But the question is, what was it? Okay, so say, I'm not saying you're right or wrong, but hypothetically, say everything you said was exactly what happened. I can't just go back to the courts and say, you know what, you guys were wrong. Yes, he did a plea agreement. Says you're wrong, and you need to reverse all this.
Sir, no one's asking anybody to just reverse it, okay? You people have sat on this fucking case for 3 years. No one's asking you just reverse it. Clearly, you can't even make a 5-minute phone call out of 3 years, right? Because if an actual investigator investigates, they'll see that it's all bullshit. I have video evidence of Tabitha in Marshtown saying it's all bullshit. Of them saying I wasn't even in custody of the Marshtown halfway house when they filed these charges. How is video evidence not enough proof? How is video evidence of them denying me access to register not enough proof? We've been doing this for 3 fucking years, man.
Well, the question is, why wasn't this all brought up in court?
Why don't you ask all the public defenders Marshall County gave to me? Because I didn't pick my public defenders, Marshall County did. So they handpicked their public defenders who refused to submit evidence on my behalf. Is that what you're saying? Huh. It sounds like you guys are all circle jerking each other and just telling me, well, go fuck yourself, Ryan. That's pretty much what you guys are doing. Again, all this boils down to a 5-minute phone call to the Marshtown halfway house. Right?
Okay, then what would that change?
What do you mean, what would that change? The whole investigation was based off me not living at the Marshtown halfway house in 2020.
Yes.
If you call out there and ask them if I was in custody, then that means that Dawn filed a false police report and refused to investigate my last address. That's called due process.
Yes.
Yes. So she violated due process by using a fake-ass address. It's not hard to figure out. Not hard at all. She used a fake address to say I was running from the registry when I clearly wasn't running from the registry because I wasn't in custody of the halfway house.
Yeah, I totally get that.
You totally get that, but it's been 4 months I've been sitting on your fucking caseload and you haven't done anything. You totally get it, right?
But Ryan, tell me what you want me to do.
I want you to get me my fucking complaint form. I want you to contact Internal Affairs. Because as of now, I'm contacting child molesters. I'm looking for advocates who love touching children and giving them my videos. Because fuck it, why not, right?
Have you contacted...
The ACLU contacted Kiko saying I was threatening her because I quoted the Second Amendment. Do you know what the Second Amendment's for? It's for cops who want to be tyrannical. That's what the Second Amendment's for.
So, did you contact the state ombudsman?
Yeah, I did. You got the ombudsman denied me medication 10 years ago. Well, wait a minute. Just last year, you guys arrested me because I wouldn't take a mental evaluation. So the jail denies me medical treatment. And then 10 years later, you guys say I have a mental problem. That's crazy. Yeah, the ombudsman's fully aware of all this, but again, no one wants to be an advocate for a sex offender.
Well, but that's the ombudsman's job.
The ombudsman's been sued for not helping Iowans. You know that, right?
I mean, I'm sure that they've probably been sued. I mean, they've been around.
They've been sued for not helping Iowans like they're supposed to.
So, have you contacted them?
Yes, I've contacted them 3 years ago, as well as the ACLU.
And then what did they say?
They didn't say anything. None of you guys want to investigate. You guys just want to tell me I'm an asshole.
Well, you kind of are. I mean, like, you're cussing at me.
You're holding me fucking hostage. You do realize that, right? You're holding me hostage because I wasn't living at the Marshtown halfway house. And then you have a problem with my fucking attitude.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I mean, like, be cordial. I mean,
be cordial. You guys have been terrorizing me for fucking 27 years. So you think I need to kiss your fucking ass to make you do your job?
I'm done talking, Ryan. Like, just be courteous. Like,
I need to kiss your ass for you to do your job.
No, I'm not telling you.
That's what you're saying. I need to kiss and lick your ass for you to do your job.
No, I'm just saying.
So I'm supposed to be terrorized by law enforcement because you can't make a 5-minute phone call.
What do you want me to make a phone call about? To tell him he wasn't living there?
So you have no policies or procedures about anything dealing with false police reports? Nothing?
No, because...
Really? I'm looking at policies and procedures right now, and I can tell you guys do have policies and procedures involving this.
I don't have... I'm not internal affairs. I don't investigate...
Are you smart enough to pick up the phone and call internal affairs to have them investigate?
I'm not even sure if Marshalltown PD has internal affairs.
They do not, but Mason City sure does, don't it?
But Mason City Police is not going to investigate another police department.
Mason City is holding me hostage due to Marshall County's negligence. You are Mason City. You are Mason City Probation. Therefore, Mason City is now connected to this illegal detainment and detention. Malicious prosecution and all of it. You're complicit. You're helping them.
No,
that's called conspiring, bro. You know what conspiring is?
I'm following government agencies.
Right, and they have not done nothing. You have done nothing. Marshall County Probation Office has done nothing. Marshall County Sheriff's Office has done nothing. Marshalltown Police Department has done nothing. They were just sued for $50,000 because they're fucking liars and then tased someone in the back.
And that has nothing to do with...
It has everything to do with my fucking case. It was the same fucking police officer. Are you fucking serious? Oh my God. See, the problem is I've been dealing with this for 3 years. You've been dealing with this for 4 months, and this is the first time I've actually been semi-aggressive towards you. And let's be honest, I'm not being aggressive at all. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you and I both know that I don't need anybody's permission to be a criminal. If I wanted to rob somebody, I can go rob somebody. If I wanted to, do other heinous crimes, I would do it. But the fact is that after 27 years, you guys are still creating crimes to charge me. I wasn't in custody of the Marshtown halfway house. You know it. I know it.
Why did you plead guilty?
I didn't plead guilty with my public defender. Ronald Langford was fired 12 days before I signed that plea agreement. Kiko charged me with harassment because I emailed her saying I'm firing my fucking public defender. How is that possible? Does the Sixth Amendment no longer apply in America?
I don't know, Ryan. The only thing, the ombudsman is the one who...
The ombudsman ain't done shit, and I've already told you that. So repeating it over and over doesn't help the situation, does it?
I'm just telling you, that's how it works.
Okay, that may how it worked in the real world, but when I'm discriminated against because of my status, because of cops like you who refuse to investigate, right?
I'm not a cop. I'm not an investigator. I don't know.
Did you take an oath of office? Did you take an oath? You didn't take an oath of office.
No.
You did not take an oath to uphold the United States Constitution.
No, I'm not sworn law enforcement. Only sworn law enforcement.
You're a public official. You have to take that sworn oath to swear and uphold the United States Constitution. That's part of public. That's public service, bro.
No, we don't take calls.
Do you have an email address?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys have not want to comply. You guys don't want to investigate crimes. You guys just want to sit here and harass me. Because essentially, I'm checking in. There's 12 months in a year, and I have to check in 4 times, right? And now I have to check in double that. So I'm checking in almost 16 times a year with you guys, and there's no victim on file. There's never been a victim on file. The Iowa Supreme Court has already ruled using juveniles under the age of 14 is illegal on the sex offender registry. You guys are still fucking doing it. I can sit here and spout laws all day, but at the end of the day, you guys are just depriving me of my rights, and you know it. How you want to proceed, because I've already know for the last 4 months you haven't done anything. You've refused to even make one phone call. So how can you even be trusted?
Okay, well, I mean, that's...
Oh, I'm just asking. See, I'm just asking, sir, because you guys are lying about where I was living. So what's the point? You could just say right now after we hang up that I threatened you, that I, said some crazy thing. How do I know that, sir? How do I know that? In 2020, you guys were saying I was living in a halfway house. I wasn't living in a halfway house. See what I'm saying? In 2021, a sheriff showed up my door saying I failed to register. I had video evidence that I did register. So we have multiple instances of them failing to register me, and it's all on video. You witnessed a video, a month and a half ago, of them 3 sheriffs denying me access to register. What's the point of me registering if you guys are just going to fucking do whatever you want? Because you and I both know it's been 3 years since all this went down. If I was really angry and upset and wanted to be violent, I could have been violent. Most of you guys live in Ferguson. It's not hard to figure out. We live in Iowa, in a small area. Inmates like to talk. Inmates love to talk about fucking cops. They love it. I don't understand why, but they fucking love it. And it's fucking stupid. All I asked was someone to make a 5-minute phone call, and my life isn't even worth a 5-minute phone call. So what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to keep wasting my time and effort calling you, checking in, when obviously I'm not out here running these streets. I'm not out here being a gang member. I'm not doing drugs. I don't drink alcohol. I'm not sitting.
Ryan, my goal is just to get you through probation.
It doesn't seem...
Like, I'm not doing any violations. I just love...
It would be really stupid to violate me, because that would just reopen the case.
Well, but I'm saying I have no reason to.
I mean, I could give you a reason if that's how far we need to take this, sir. That's what I'm saying. I am 40 years old, struggling to survive. At what point is my back in a fucking corner like a dog before you realize I'm gonna fucking bite you? Because let's get real, sir. If I wanted to hurt you, do you think I would just wait outside the probation office in Mason City? I could easily hurt you that way. Same with all these other officers that leave the jail, that leave the probation office. If I wanted to hurt somebody, you would have been hurt. I don't need your permission to be violent. But the fact is that I've been screaming and yelling for 3 years for someone to make a 5-minute phone call, and you're still giving me excuses on why you can't do it. That just shows me that you're in compliance. You're willing to batter me, willing to berate me, willing to treat me like shit, all in a pursuit of saving a police officer's career because she couldn't lie, not use my real address. That's what all this comes down to. Because she was in Tom Lillibridge's case when he was charged with sexual assault by multiple people. And then all that shit got in jury trial, found out that Dawn, the same person that signed my warrant for my arrest, is a liar. Why wasn't that disclosed to the defense?
You're talking about cases I have no idea about.
You don't even know about my case. So.
All right. See, your next appointment.
I'm going to call you in 4 months. That's when I'm going to call you. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not your slave. Until you guys actually figure out that I actually created a crime or did a crime, then we can go from there. But I'm not going to call you every 2 months because I'm not your fucking slave. I wasn't in custody of Marshtown Halfway House. I'm not playing this. I'm not jumping through endless hoops because you refuse to make a 5-minute phone call. I will contact you when I have to register, which is every 4 months.
Well, but probation is every 2 months.
I don't care. Just like you guys don't care that I wasn't living at the halfway house but still charged me. I don't care. Sir, okay. You're pushing me into a corner and you're not.
I don't know how I'm pushing you into a corner.
Are you holding me hostage to a case
that you pled guilty to?
Pled guilty to with a public defender I fired 12 days prior. That the state's attorney is well aware that I fired because I emailed her and she charged me with harassment for emailing a public official on a public website which lists her email address.
Ryan,
right?
If you're not happy with how I'm handling your case, you can contact my supervisor and talk to him about it.
Why? So we can involve more lawsuits? Because you guys already lost your qualified immunity.
I'm just trying to give you options.
You're not giving me any options. You're telling me to contact the ombudsman. I've already done that. 3 years ago, they refused to take the case because I wasn't charged with the crime then. I'm charged with it now, and they still refuse to take the case. Told me to contact the ACLU. I contacted them, outlining everything. They contacted me back saying there's nothing they can fucking do about it. Then, the same ACLU sends my letter to a Rodriguez out of Marshtown County, who was my court-released probation officer, and he submitted that form 3 times after the judge already said that there's nothing going on in this letter. He submitted it 3 times after the fact. So are you just stupid or what? Because, again, you've seen the video of this bitch not registering me. You've seen 3 armed gunmen denying me access to register. This isn't rocket science. This is basic human shit. It's called fucking morals and having values of someone else's life. I've jumped through every fucking hoops in the last 27 years. And this state don't even have a fucking victim. All this bullshit, all these felonies, no victims. I wasn't even fucking living at the halfway house. I still got charged for living at the halfway house. Is it illegal to submit, say, like your home address on the sex offender registry? On my sex offender registry?
What's that?
If I go to register and say I use your home address to register, is that illegal?
Say it one more time. You were kind of breaking up there. So your home address.
If I go to register as a sex offender and use your home address, is that illegal?
Well, yeah, because it's...
So how is it not illegal for Dawn to create a false affidavit saying I was in custody of the halfway house when the sex offender registry shows that I wasn't in custody of the halfway house? See, you say it's illegal for me to do it, but it's not illegal for a cop to do it? Ha got you, buddy. See, you talk yourself into circles, but you don't even know what's going on. You know damn good and well she filed a false police report. You know damn good and well it's malicious prosecution. You don't have qualified immunity. You sat on my case for 4 months and haven't done a fucking thing. You don't get qualified immunity either.
There is nothing for me to do. Like, what do you want me to do? Go to Marshalltown PD and say, hey, he wasn't living here. And then what? And then they're gonna
wow, it's kind of like you guys don't have any policies and procedures about dealing with police misconduct, do you? Huh.
That's what the ombudsman's for.
Oh, like your department has policies and procedures for this sort of thing too. The fact that you're too incompetent to do your fucking job is a testament to
I'm gone,